Let's look at Michael Woods because he has it. He's going to have a big ask ahead of him when he goes to the Tour de France. We're looking at 58 kilometers of time trialing, over 2 time trials in the Tour de France. Stage 5 when the Tour pulls out of after those first 4 stages in Brittany, and then of course the penultimate time trial stage, the penultimate stage as well as a time trial. 58 kilometers in total. Mike Woods probably won't have a chance to win the overall unless he puts in huge time on those alpine stages. I think we have 2 this year, and there's 3 big Pyrenean stages, and let's not forget the double ascent of the Mont Ventoux. But let's just celebrate the fact that Michael Woods is lining up and could possibly be the leader of Ineos Startup Nation, considering where he was last year, Michael.
Yeah, Gregor, it was 2020 Paris-Nice. Mike Woods was left lying on the side of the road with a broken femur. This is what I'm really happy to see, is not just that he's back, but the trajectory that Mike Woods is building throughout this 2021 season is fantastic. He built himself up for the Ardennes, and then, you know, we fast forward to Romandie. He is just flying. I think that, you know, if you're Mike Woods and you're looking at this season, you have 2 objectives, right? It's the Tour de France and it's the Olympics. The Tour de France, he was expecting to be going into the Tour in support of Chris Froome. I just don't think that that is what is actually going to unfold on the Israel Startup Nation team this year. I'm sure that Chris Froome is going to go. I also just don't think that he has really given anybody any reason to think that he is going to be within shot of the general classification this year. It's a bummer for Mike Woods, I will say, because it's a great Tour de France route for Mike Woods to support Chris Froome. It's not a great Tour de France route for Mike Woods to go out and try to win it on its own. Those individual time trial kilometers are going to hurt him. That said, at Romandie, he put out an individual time trial, which he should be happy about. He was just over a minute off the pace of the leaders. But like you said, at the Tour, it would take a huge raid in the mountains for Mike Woods to be able to pull off the overall win. I think that regardless, what we're seeing is this form that he's building is going to mean he's going to put on a really darn good show. Let's say Israel Startup Nation, they don't have Chris Froome for GC. They'll either look to Mike Woods or Dan Martin. If those don't work out, I want to see Mike Woods just able to go on the attack for stage wins. I think that Mike Woods can come home from France with some really good stage win performances, and that is not nothing. I am, however, going to be very scared at the same time throughout the entire Tour de France, because Mike Woods really has to stay on his bike during this race to make it to the Olympics, because that's where he has the really big opportunity of his lifetime, just 1 week after the Tour de France finishes.